The coffee shop sat on a corner most people passed without really seeing. No bright sign, no trendy name, no long lines for photos. Just warm light through large windows and the quiet sound of cups touching saucers. She started going there out of convenience. It was close to work, and the coffee was good enough. Nothing more. Nothing less. At first, she noticed small things. The barista remembered her order after the third visit. The same song played every morning around the same time. People didn't rush others out of seats. Laptops stayed open, but conversation stayed alive. The place didn't demand attention. It offered consistency. Over time, the coffee shop became part of her routine. Morning started there. Sometimes evenings ended there too. She saw familiar faces without knowing names. The older man who always read the newspaper slowly. The couple who argued quietly but never left angry. The student who studied like the world depended on it. Everyone existed together without interfering, like parallel lives sharing warmth. One day, she came in exhausted, barely aware of herself. The barista didn't ask what she wanted. He just placed her usual cup on the counter and said, "Rough day?" She nodded, surprised by how easily the words landed. She sat longer than usual, watching steam rise from the cup, feeling grounded by something as simple as being seen without explanation. Weeks later, she noticed a handwritten note near the register. "If you're waiting for a sign to slow down, this is it." People smiled when they read it. Some took photos. Others just nodded quietly and ordered coffee. The note changed occasionally, but the message stayed the same. Presence over urgency. Attention over speed. When she finally asked how long the shop had been there, the barista laughed. "Longer than people think. We just don't try to be loud." That made sense. The shop didn't chase customers. It let them return when they were ready. On a rainy afternoon, she sat by the window and realized something. The coffee shop didn't just serve drinks. It held space. 4 pauses. 4 conversations. For silence that didn't feel empty. In a city that constantly asked people to move faster, this place asked them to stay. She left that day carrying her cup a little more carefully. Not because it was hot, but because it mattered. And from then on, whenever life felt too rushed or too loud, she knew exactly where to go, not to escape the city, but to remember how to exist inside it. As seasons shifted, the coffee shop stayed the same in all the ways that mattered. Winter brought fogged windows and heavier coats hung on the backs of chairs. Summer opened the door wider, letting warm air and street sounds drift in softly. The rhythm didn't change. Mornings were calm. Afternoons slow. Evenings gentle. It became a place where time didn't disappear, it settled. She started noticing how people treated the space differently than other cafes. Phones were put face down more often. Conversations stretched without urgency. No one apologized for sitting too long. The barista never rushed anyone, even during busy hours. When someone new walked in, they were welcomed without ceremony, folded naturally into the room like they had always belonged there. One evening, she arrived just before closing, shoulders tense, mind loud. The shop was nearly empty. The older man with the newspaper was still there, pages folded carefully. The barista cleaned the counter slowly, not in a hurry to shut the place down. She ordered tea instead of coffee and sat near the back, listening to the quiet hum of the refrigerator and the faint sounds of the street outside. It felt like a pause within a pause. That night, she realized something subtle but important. The shop didn't just remember orders. It remembered moods. It remembered when to speak and when not to. It remembered that some days people came to be productive, and other days they came simply to exist without explanation. That awareness was rare. And powerful. Eventually, she learned the barista's name. Learned small details about the regulars. shared pieces of her own life in return. The place became less anonymous but never intrusive. No one demanded stories. They were offered naturally, like refills. The shop held them without judgment, without trying to fix anything. One afternoon, she arrived to find the handwritten note changed again. "You don't have to rush to be important." She stood there longer than necessary, letting the words settle. They weren't advice. They were permission. When she left that day, the city felt slightly different. Louder, faster, but not overwhelming. She knew where to return when she needed to remember how to breathe inside it. Some places don't change your life with grand gestures. They do it quietly, cup by cup, moment by moment. And that coffee shop continued doing what it always had, remembering everyone, not by name alone, but by the way they needed to be met when they walked through the door.